Hi there folks, another one of my Scotsmans. This is Hornby's Flying Scotsman USA tour. This is a nice, quite a different one from all the other ones, so I just had to have it. As you see on the box, it's limited to 2000 right on the top right, and there is a bit of blurb on the bottom. It says earlier Flying Scotsman as outshopped in Doncaster 1969 / Pullman observation car SC281. In 1969, the Flying Scotsman, which was at that time under the ownership of Mr. Alan Pegler, was destined to make a long journey to the United States of America, where it travelled some 2,200 miles from Boston to Dallas and then on to Houston. The train pulled by the Flying Scotsman was principally a trade train, but amongst the vehicles was a former Devon Belt observation car, which was eventually, having toured with the train, left in San Francisco, where it remained before being repatriated some 30 years later. This pack is representative of the Flying Scotsman and the observation car as they were before the long trip to the USA in 1969. This is a limited edition pack of just 2,000 pieces with a number certificate included with each pack. So I say this is actually was when she left for America. Little brief bit of history. She did actually get stranded in America as well. Basically, I think it was America. It was. When she got over there, she did the run, but then all the financial backing, all the people backing it, basically withdrew. She was stuck there for a good year until funds were raised to bring her back. There's a great video I've got a DVD of her in America. Some great shots. I believe it was in Texas. Right at the end where she was laid up for the winter, they had a turntable, which is pretty much the only turntable where she'd get on with both of her tenders on. That's quite a feat because she is a big engine to begin with. Adding a second tender on just makes it massive. So enough of the box, onto a bit more of the gubbins. Now, get that away. This train, I will say, when it's boxed up, it does, like the other two, have these two just screwed to the bottom so you can actually use it out. I was trying to be as cautious as I can, but unfortunately I did end up damaging the Loco. I have repaired it, but I know it's there and it does annoy me. You always get these little class A1s, A3 sort of manual thing. As the box said, there is a limited edition certificate. This is 1998 of 2000. So there's only two more on the line before this one, after this one, before they stopped, which is quite nice. I like that idea. I'd prefer it to be like 1472, obviously, or 4472. Oh, actually, you can't get 4472, it's 2000. But 1472 would have been nice. If you don't know why 1472 is relevant, just keep watching my channel. I will be doing a little brief bit of history on Scotsman, skipping through quite a lot of things I'd imagine as well. The box you'll get something like this. Obviously your Loco, your tender, the observation car. You get some sort of like extra detail packs, mainly vacuum pipes really, and some couplings and stuff. And then you get another one over here, which is full of sort of pipes and brakes and your wheel, so that's quite good. But enough of that. Moving on to the train. I'm going to start with the Locomotive, as all things, as you all expect. As you see, apple green, Flying Scotsman name, the private crest. The detail on her is absolutely superb. But if I come down to the front, which is going to be one of the most different places, looking from this side, obviously the cowcathcer and the Knuckle, it doesn't work, which is a bit of annoying, which is a little bit annoying even. But obviously the cowcathcer's quite dominant there. The Knuckle coupling is again, it's quite prominent. You can see it. The other thing is the bell. all American steam locomotives are required to have a bell. If you look at any US locomotive, quite often they'll be mounted up at the top here. There's a very famous one of 611. I just actually watched a video on one of my subscribers' channels where he's gone around the American steam locomotives. I believe it was video 1. He actually showed locomotive 611. It's a lovely looking engine, I must admit. But I say that's relevant now. Obviously, all the she has her bell sort of back here, sort of mounted in almost. But Scotsman, obviously, because she's a British locomotive, had these things sort of added on. The knuckle coupling, the bell, and the other thing is another whistle. It's a chime whistle, I believe, because the A1s themselves were built originally with bell whistles, so they only have one tone, whereas the Americans wanted tritone or something for some reason. I don't really understand why. I mean, it's no different from what the Australians requested. So the Australians actually requested a very loud, low-pitched bell underneath the cab, or then required one that was fitted underneath the cab. The locomotive itself, she is sprung buffered. Ta-da! As you can see, the detail. She's got the plate. She's got red pinstripes all the way down the side, which is, I mean, all the downside over the wheels. The wheels got white ones. The tender ones have all got red. You can just about see them there. Fantastic detail. She has got a single chimney. In 1969, coming out of British Railway, she would have had, not 69. When she came out of British Railway and Sir Alan Pegler bought her, she had a double. She also had the smoke deflectors on. Alan Pegler himself wanted to bring her back as much as he could, to her original form, which is why the smoke deflectors vanished, as did the double chimney. So it's nice. You can sort of track these movements over time. It's quite nice. As I say, the detail on the wheels, the valve gear, everything there is amazing. I mean, I haven't actually seen these wheels go round. At least not. I mean, there are videos of it on YouTube, but these ones haven't moved. As I say, I was going to keep it that way, but now I'm a little unsure because of the damage. If you haven't noticed the damage already, and I will warn you, if you buy one of these, be very careful. That little foot ladder thing there, you can just about see where it sort of meets the line of the wheel. There is a break, and it did snap off completely, and I've had to glue it back on. It doesn't look straight, but you can't notice that, surely. I know it's there. Now you know it's there. Onto the cab. The roof of the cab, like a lot of the other ones, they'll work. I can open them both. I can close them. See, that's fantastic. I say you got the private crest there. You got the handbrakes on the tender just there. There's silver levers there. Again, moving down, you got the new style coal, which I much prefer from the old lumpy ones. That does actually come out. It has been taken out on this one before. And you get like the chute. You can actually see what wood comes out there. For instance, like where the coal actually comes out, you could, in theory, put dust or something sort of relative size. I mean, even stuff like coffee. Coffee would look like dirt, which is obviously not what you want, but same sort of consistency, it would slide down and come out there. So it's quite detailed there. Between the two tenders, you have got on the newer tender. I said newer tender. I'll explain why in a minute. There is a narrow coupling there. The buffers there are sprung. The buffers on the old tender are not. Now, I'll say the old tender because, as I say, there's a narrow coupling on this tender. I should show you. Come off. There we go. So as you can see, there we go. narrow coupling. Now I'll get back on the track. Whereas this one, very wide coupling. The back bogie is on a pivot, as you see, exactly the same as the old A ones. It's got a fair amount of weight to it as well. So I'd imagine the chassis is for, it has got the motor mounted in it. It's not actually powered. This locomotive is locomotive drive. And the other thing is, when you actually get it on the track and try to couple it up, it doesn't necessarily, it wants to go sort of down, which is a little annoying. So you have to sort of be a bit more inquisitive. I'd say that is the water tender, like she had over in the UK, funny enough. In fact, it's virtually the same. I mean, you can trace it. You've got my other two, you got the, I'll just show you quickly, the ones that are in those boxes there. So you have the 66 to 73 and 72 to 75. Now the 66 to 73, this falls under, it's virtually identical. Got double green tender, exact same, and then the one in the blue boxes there is the one with the blue tender and the three carriages. I have done a video. I will link them to this, so you'll see it probably in the bottom right hand corner. Have a look. I mean, they're much older Hornby models. You can see how much Hornby has evolved, and it really has. So I'll say one more thing about this locomotive. Take the tender off quickly. You can see the little slip again. Hornby seems to like doing that with their newer models, especially the Scotsmans I've got. It just connects to it. I'd imagine there are pickups in the tender. I'm not too sure. I haven't really looked much into it. I haven't really felt any need to. Going to the cab, you have actually got these little doors, which are just there. Be very careful when you're picking them out, because they are incredibly fragile. On my gold-plated mallard, which may very well be in the next video, it may be another couple time, those one of them has fallen off and been probably quite badly repaired, but nevertheless it's been repaired. Hang off, have a quick look in the cab. Now there you go, you can see inside there, there's a lot of detail in there. I say a lot. All of the pipes are brought out. The valves have all got detail on them. They're all printed up. You can see the left-hand drive. You can see the brake there. I'm trying to look for the regulator. The regulator is painted on, which is nice. Even all the two, you see the just. Just there and there. There are two water meters. You can't see on this camera, but there is detail even on them, the lines that you see if you actually go on Scotsman. In fact, this door here, that one there, has actually been re-glued on as well. So, yeah, she's, I mean, for something that's never been run and only been out of the box 3 times, she's got quite a bit of damage, which is a shame. You can also see on the back, like the 2011 models, this came out quite a bit before that. It has got the flat wheels. It's got the fixed rear bogie. So let's get on with that. I mean, even the details down to that. The Scotsman itself does have 3 holes there. That's how the tender, just there. You see, she's got the tender's got it as well. 1, 2, 3. They'd have 3 connecting rods. Well, it's just connecting rods about that space they go through, which is quite clever, I think. You have also got the speedometer. just there. I have to turn the light off. I'm going to use my iPhone again. I mean, even the detail on the windows. I don't know if the camera's going to zoom in enough on that. I don't think she will. Oh yeah, but you can't see very well. But these have got tiny bits that sort of stick out, so the driver can lean out and still be behind the glass. So Nigel Gresley has a couple of them. They sort of got a brass frame, and then the glass is open on this side. So I mean, I'd say next time you're in it, rather than A3 and A4, I think even Tornado has some. Have a look. As I was saying, you've got the handbrake's just there for the tender. Right, moving on to the. Let's try and get that beast out of the way. There we go. Moving on to the observation car. Now, again, this is very detailed. You got all the detail on the top. You've got even detail inside there. The other thing is this one does. I mean, this. I think it's, yeah, there we go. It just pops off. And again, in here, you can see. You know, there's all sorts of detail in there. You got the sort of the brake there. I mean, this was on the Brighton Bell. Brighton Bell was at Railfest. I'm going to leave it off a moment. I will remember that's there. Actually, stick that back on. There we go. Go on. Go on, there we go. You're not on properly. Bastard. Very fiddly. Especially when you've got a camera in one hand. There we go. Obviously, it says observation cars. Most other Pullmans are named. You have even got detail inside. I mean, you got all the seats. At Railfest, they did have an observation car, but it wasn't the Brighton Bell one. It wasn't one quite similar. It was a bit more streamlined at the other end. There is also a video on YouTube of Scotsman when she was in British Rail livery 66103 at a heritage railway where they had an observation car, and the observation car was actually at the end when Scotsman pulled her. Another notable thing about this is the buffers are actually sprung. They're not sprung in the same way that these are. These are sprung via a spring. These ones, the plastic has a plastic frame and it joins onto that. Now you may be able to see narrow coupling. Again, that's a newer model, which is the newer, means it's a lot matches in with the newer things. In terms of the Pullman colour, this is good, but if I bring over to quite dated, I have to admit, they are quite dated Pullmans. So if I put up a named one, which is Lucille, let's bring it across. There we go. There's quite a colour difference there. Obviously, Lucille wasn't part of the Brighton Bell. Brighton Bell was their own, the electric powered car. Lucille is part of the hauled load. You see the lights in there are all just bits of brass. The detail is fairly minimal. Now, if I bring up, if I leave it there actually, if I bring up another one, it's an unnamed one, which I believe you get in a set. Again, the colour is different. Lucille is very much an orange colour. Now, if I take Lucille out and put this one in, it's a closer match, but it's still not quite right. Obviously, the roofs are different. That's these two Pullman cars. I've got a third one. They were off eBay. Not too much at all. There's a nice set out which have all the lights inside that light up. Details amazing. I'm going to try and get hold of them. But for the time being, I'm staying with these two until I get my setup. I mean, I'm trying to increase my fleet anyway. So now, you may be wondering why I've powered up. Now, part of this set, I don't know if that's going to pick it up very well, is lights. There we go. Now you can see the whole thing lights up, and even the back here. And if I tilt it off, there you go. So unlike companies that do flicker free, this one is direct from pickup, which is fine. You get a chance to see a bit more detail inside, really. It does shine out a bit more. Let's try and get to zoom in or focus in. There we go. You can see the seats are all pointed outwards, so you get a better view behind you. They're all they're not sort of crowded as there are other carriages. They are nice and open. See if I can get a picture of it. I don't think I will be able to. No, she's too high. Camera's too high. As I say, if you go from the end, spin around a bit, sort of flicker a little bit. It's quite a lot of glass there. Lovely view. Obviously, it's an observation car. Right at the end of the train, so you'd have the brake car there, and then the observation car would be right at the end. There is no coupling on this end at all. And I say, even the detail on the wood, which I don't think the camera will pick up very well. Oh, there we go. You can see each panel of wood. Again, you can see it all down the side, the observation car on a named plate, rather than some of the Pullmans where they're actually painted on, like Topaz in the National Rail Museum. That's a Pullman car, and again, that's hasn't got an added on bit. It's painted on with the paintwork. But there we go. If I just pull Scotsman over here, and hopefully this will reach. There we go. And if I zoom back, there she is. So please rate, subscribe, and comment. And I will have another video up hopefully next week. I will be doing another video over the weekend on the Saturday. I'm going to be watching Oliver Cromwell come through. So hopefully I'll be able to get a nice couple of shots of her, get that up, and obviously you can enjoy that as well. So let's get another view of the motor. So yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed this. Scotsman is a very iconic locomotive, which is why I've collected so many. I am running out a little bit now, but I will be doing a little bit of a history on her after I've finished next week's, or next Scotsman's. So I hope you stay tuned for that, and I hope you learn something, and always contribute anything you can, any details, if I've made a mistake, please tell me. If you have any sort of separate interesting information, again, please comment. I'd love to hear them. But for now, Scotsman and me are going to go and chill out, have a few beers, and surf around on YouTube. Thank you. See you soon.